Hi everyone, welcome, and thank you so much for joining me. This is Heather Lloyd Martin, and I'm CEO of SuccessWorks SEO Copywriting. Today I want to talk about 3 things to consider before you build a new site. So this is applicable if you are redesigning your site and you are getting rid of the old one and bringing in the new one, or this is your first website and you want to make sure that you do everything right when you start. So this is a really important thing to consider because I know of a lot of companies who forget to talk to an SEO expert, especially an SEO expert who understands content before they launch their site. And what ends up happening is that they have this really pretty site, but it might not be good for Google. And the content is written in a way that is not easily found. So these are things to consider to make sure that you do everything right the first time. The first thing is to consider how much room there'll be for the content. I've worked with many e-commerce companies that only allow a couple lines for content in the template. And they think, oh, well, we don't need that much room for the content. Do we want to have mostly images? Isn't this fine? And no, it's not fine. You'll want to have definitely more room to move with the content. Otherwise, what will happen is that you can't really write anything descriptive. So from a conversion standpoint, that throws things off. And from an SEO perspective, you're not able to add the key phrases into the content. So consider what you want to do here. It's easier to have more room, extra room for the content than it is to limit that amount of content and then find out that you don't have enough room for what you want to do. The second thing to consider is your key phrase universe. I still talk to many site owners that launch their first website. They're really excited about it. And then I ask them, what's your key phrase focus? And they say, what do you mean a key phrase focus? So you'll want to understand what your total key phrase universe is for your site, what key phrases are applicable, and set up a per page strategy. If this is something that you don't have time to do, don't want to learn to do, would rather outsource, that's can definitely be a smart move. And if you bring someone on who understands that key phrase research and understands how to map those key phrases to specific landing pages, you'll be golden. So definitely have that worked out before you start, because otherwise what will happen is you'll have all this really great content on your site and it will be really hard for that content to position. So you want to make sure, again, you do everything right the first time. And then finally, consider the content that needs to be live before the site launches. I, again, talk to many site owners who focus so much on the site design and they want it to be perfect and right and pretty that they completely forget about the content. So what they end up doing is either writing it in a big, huge rush and it's not so hot and they figure, oh, we'll just revise it later, but they don't. Or they end up importing a lot of content from their old site that they never really liked in the first place, but because they don't have time to do anything else, that's what gets stuck on the new site. And again, they end up not liking it, it's not performing for them, and it doesn't make their site as good as it can be. So just make sure that you have the quality content before you launch. When you're looking at the key phrase universe and mapping out the key phrases to the pages, have those in place of you have content deadlines where you know that by a certain date all of your content is done for the site, and then that way when the site goes live you have the great new design and you have the fantastic content to go along with it. So thank you very much, everyone. If you would like more information about SEO copywriting, I have a weekly and a daily newsletter. You can sign up for it at SEOcopywriting.com. And also, if you are looking at your site and trying to figure out what to do about it and how to make it better for your readers, better for Google, please let me know. I am very happy to help, and I have an SEO content review where I can evaluate your site, get on the phone with you, and let you know of some of your challenges and your opportunities. If you follow that link, you'll be able to learn more about the SEO content review. And of course, if you have any other questions at all or have comments about this post or have ideas for future posts, love to hear them. You can reach me at heather@seocopywriting.com, or find me on Twitter at @HeatherLloyd. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care and have a fantastic day.